Hello, everybody. I'm Harry, apparently from Frog of Warts tonight.
From the
Yeah, that's the one. And to my side here, other side
other side.
is other
That's
side.
Adam.
That
Adam from Dyson World. G'day.
now you try pointing
And
to the right side of the
and
screen.
then my other side,
Ah,
Keith.
damn.
Ben.
G'day,
Ben, our
I'm Ben.
Team Yankee champion.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
Oh dear. So here we are for another episode of Table Ready Livestream. Uh, it's a mixed bag tonight. It was that thing of I was trying to write it up, and it's like, what's it about? Like, we're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff, but normally we have like an overarching scheme or something like that, and we just kind of don't. So yeah, we'll talk about lots of things. Adam, what do you want to talk about when we get to it? You've got some fun stuff coming up
Yeah,
in
I
the
guess.
stream.
I was just at the Cairns Pan Pacific Championships at the Australian Arms and Armour and Artillery Museum in Cairns.
Yep,
Had
that's
a
always
great
fun.
event. It was an awesome time. And yeah, we got all the guys got to ride in an M3 half track, which was really cool. I'd never ridden one, which was surprisingly comfortable and smooth ride. And then I was also lucky enough to ride in something else. So I'll tell you about that later. But yeah, no, it was a really, really good time, and I would recommend to. I'm pretty sure they're going to run it next year as well. So yeah, next year probably mid year in Cairns, an awesome Flames of War event and Team Yankee as well.
Yeah, I might think about rolling along and playing Team Yankee. That might be fun. Ben, what have you been up to?
Oh, well, Harry's laid down the gauntlet. You want to do a new army for the next event, so I've got some boxes of M113s I'm working on now.
Oh, okay. So you're going to do a new
So
army.
I'm dipping my toe into NATO. We'll have to see how that goes.
Ooh, alrighty. Yeah, so we do actually have a tournament coming up fairly soon,
Yep.
which we haven't announced. I made a logo for it a few weeks ago, and then that's been about it. So we might actually make some announcements in the next week or so about exactly what's going on. But there will be a Team Yankee tournament.
In Perth.
In Perth, yes. So if you're not in Perth, you can't come.
Well, you can. It's just far. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So there's a bunch of people in the comments. I'm just trying to see what's going on. Alad's here, and he's painting some Cromwells and some Churchills.
No,
We were
nice
having a
man.
discussion in the comments about Cromwells, and Adam, your opinion is they're a little overcosted?
I think so. It's basically a Sherman with a 12-inch tactical move.
Yeah.
And I guess you give it scout as well, and it's so all right, it's faster, but for all that, it's I think it's 2 or 3 points more expensive per tank, and it's just not worth it in my view. I think in my personal opinion, I think whoever wrote the D-Day, the British late war books, kind of overvalued speed. Right, speed is
Yeah,
useful,
fair enough.
but speed doesn't stop a tank shell. It doesn't make you harder to hit.
No, and Cromwells are not renowned for being heavily armoured, are they?
Well, it's the same armor as a Sherman.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, why are you paying all that extra points?
Well, Spameroy agrees because he reckons, why would you take Cromwells when Shermans come with Fireflies?
Yeah, but Cromwells look cool. That's the thing. Like, I really do like them, and the models, the new plastic models are great, and the old resin individual, I thought they were cool. I've got those ones.
Yeah, I mean, I have a whole Wrecker Squadron, yeah, which I haven't played for ages.
I'm hoping when they do late war dynamic points, that they'll rebalance the Cromwells a little bit.
Yeah. All right, so I'm just flipping through quickly at all the people. So we've got Wooly Mike from the UK, Victor Denbach, Scott Trekan. Hey, Trekan, how you going?
I saw Universal Carrier. Yeah, pretty
Sorry?
much. Post-war universal carrier. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, post-war universal carrier. Very good. All right. So what we should do is start talking about what we're going to talk about, which means we need to look at the slides.
What's that? It's a Panzer IV.
It does look like a Panzer IV.
It is. And I'm on the back of it there, hanging off the side.
And not just that, yeah, that's Adam in a Panzer IV.
That's right.
There is actually video of you online tooling around in the M60s,
there is.
isn't there?
Yes. It's going on. Hang on.
Why is there music? Hello, Frank. Yeah, okay, so Adam will try and figure out what's going on with poker music or whatever it is in our stream. But yeah, so that was part of... So the Armour and Artillery Museum, if nobody knows what that is in Cairns in Queensland. I was there about 5 or 6 years ago, well pre-COVID. Yeah, that... Copyright music, yes, so that's probably us demonetized. That's us screwed then.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So we're demonetized again, Adam.
Why? What did I do?
Copyright music.
Oh, no, that's Hungarian dance. It's fine. It's all good.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
If you say so. Anyway.
No, you can't copyright that.
So the... yeah, it's a great museum, but it's got a lot more stuff since I was there.
Yeah. And I think since I've been there, they've also got a Cromwell, a Wesp, and what was the other thing that I just got in?
You mean a Vespa?
Yeah. On a Panzer I?
The Germans pronounce all the words. Yeah, the Panzer one got finished yesterday. I
Yeah.
was watching the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's Ozupperfest this weekend, I believe.
Yes. And there was something else that they got. Was it a pattern? I think a pattern. I think they got a pattern in.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right, okay. Because I know the Tank Museum's trying to finish up their M47 to put that on display.
I'm pretty sure that yes, exactly. Yes, very good. Yeah.
Oh. So did you have
yeah.
an outburst of Hungarian fervour there, Adam?
Yes, it comes out sometimes.
Well, quick, put it back in.
Yes. Yeah, so I luckily got best painted at this tournament, which I was pretty chuffed about. Probably only because Victor couldn't actually put his hand up for it because he was playing there as a BF employee. Because I actually think his were painted better than mine. But anyway, he had a Cromwell in what's the other one? What's the big shooty gun?
Challengers.
The Challenger Welsh Guards.
So he would have had an armoured, recce squadron. So we'll get to actually see some of those a little bit later on.
Yes. Yeah. But so I got to, it was part of my prizes, I got to ride in the side of the turret of the Panzer IV as I went around the track at Armour. So the red-headed bloke in front of me there, that's Rudolph. I played him, I think, game 3. He's a wonderful chap lovely fellow from Canberra. He got best sport. The bloke with the cap on is, what's his name? Dale? He's one of the blokes you see on the videos all the time. He's one of the mechanics that fixes all the things. That's Victor there with his black T-shirt with a thumbs up. He's a guy from BF that had those Welsh guards. And Julian is the winner up there in the in the commander's position. He's the guy that won the tournament.
Right.
What was he playing? I mean, Berlin Germans, maybe. Yeah.
And how is it size-wise in there? Because I remember I went to one of the Tank Fest days at the Bovington Tank Museum, and I sat in the doors into the turret of a Panzer III, but I was a bit big to go all the way in. I'm a little tubby for Panzerwaffe.
I think I would have been right for the commander's coupler, and obviously the doors, the side doors, I can get in through. I think.
Yeah.
Well, no, Rudolph could get through the drivers, but it'd be a squeeze.
Yeah.
But I think actually the Panzer IV's got a bit of room in it as compared to.
Yeah, certainly the
Panzer
III was
ones.
pretty titchy.
Yeah, I think But you know, like we said when we were there, like there's a reason the guys are all like it's all 18, 19, 20-year-old guys that were in
Yeah.
these tanks generally. You know, it wasn't senior or older, middle-aged men generally.
Middle-aged spread men.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But first up, like I said, this is a big grab bag of stuff because there's been a bunch of announcements from BF. I covered a lot of these in a live stream with the Restless Kaiser 4 weeks ago or so. And we talked about a whole bunch of stuff, a lot of which he'd squeezed out of
Peter
Pete Siminovich in his interview with him, which was very entertaining. So have a look at either or both of those. Yep. It is good.
So what do they mean by market garden and bulge? Do they mean obviously the paratroop boxes? And
yeah, so we might go through that. So they're doing a new 2-player starter set for Flames of War.
Yeah.
So they're retiring all the other ones, including the Hit the Beach, and they're doing a new Fortress Europe 2-player starter. And I think that's very similar, but with the plastic infantry and what have you. They talked about, so the Market Garden and the Bulge thing, they're re-releasing limited edition box sets and terrain re-releases for that, I believe. So, yeah, that's coming. I think we've got some slides talking a little bit about that in a little while. Pacific in February 2025. I was very excited. Adam, you said the Australian Commandos are going to be in that.
Did I?
Yes. Okay, so there's a rumour then that there might be some Australian Commandos in that. That would be nice.
Yeah, it'd be great if they were in that.
Yeah, there would be. And early war. So that's coming. I think the Kaiser actually got some pics of some early war stuff that we've looked at. I think I shoved one of those in here too. And they're talking about doing a Bagration compilation book. So similar to what they've done for Eastern Front and what have you, it will combine a number of books together.
Yeah, they were showing off a couple of the sprues of the French tanks.
Oh, did you get some good photos of those, Adam?
No, I didn't. Why would I take photos?
Okay.
I thought about it afterwards, and I'm like, oh, photos.
Well, that's no good.
Yeah, they're lovely. They're very lovely, and they've actually got alternate rear hull bits. So
yep. All of them?
Well, I don't know how many there are, but they've got alternate rear hull bits.
Where are we? Hang on. So you would have seen something like that, right?
Mine was green, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if it's green, it's probably British.
No, it was green. It was a French one.
French one, but green. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a very early pre-production.
Yeah, model, that could be like an early, something.
Yeah,
but
I think that's a test.
The rear hull, it looks like there's multiple options.
Right. Okay.
I don't know too much about French tanks, but some of the different variants had different rear hull bits. So yeah.
Yeah. So Bagration compilation and Late War Leviathans, which a little birdie tells me might be out before Christmas.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. That'd be great.
It might be a lying little birdie.
I saw the book. I saw the book
right.
at Kent's, the whole book. So if they've got the whole book,
nothing but the book.
It's probably a fair assumption that it will be out soon.
And that's the one. So the PDF is just the stuff that was covered in the very early release of Clash of Steel. This is a much more comprehensive one that covers, I think they said, up to Wave 1 and 2 of Clash of Steel would end up being in Late War Leviathans. by the time of Wave 3, it's going to be getting a bit far out from World War II to be shoving it in Flames of War. That's probably going to be very early Checkpoint Charlie stuff.
I'd love to see Kugel Blitz, but I don't know whether or not that's going to happen.
So there's a spirited discussion in the comments that I just want to pop up for a second. Hang on. Hopefully they give us the correct M4A2 Shermans that the Kiwis used. So I'm assuming you guys mean small hatch M4A2 75s.
Small hatch, yeah, that's why it's small hatch.
So there is an M4A2 large hatch that's available from in plastic, but as far as I know, the M4A2 small hatch is one of the Shermans that they don't actually do in plastic yet.
Look, it'd be nice. I don't know. That'd be a different turret?
No, it's a turret without a Lotus hatch.
And is the hull different too?
The hull is different.
Oh,
So
okay.
there's a different slope on the front glacis, and the hatches actually protrude out. So that was what they did to get rid of that protrusion. They angled the turret, the glacis plate slightly up, and then put larger hatches in the top of the hull. So I just thought it would be worth chucking that in the conversation there to say that there is a hole there, and maybe Battlefront will fill that one. But that's about the only M4A2. Oh, hang on. So the straight welded M4 you can't do either, I think. But anyway, that's
first one, the first variant.
Yeah, so the M4A1 and the M4 were basically the same design, but some US companies could do the welding and some could only do casting.
Right. I tell you what I did see look really cool was an early Lee with a cast hole. And,
absolutely.
Yeah. But I don't think they ever made any. Or they like to make one or something, or a couple.
There were, I think, the M3A5.
Or they didn't leave the US or something. It was
there wasn't very many of them made.
Yeah, look cool, look different, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so that took us down a bit of a Sherman rabbit hole, which Spammerai would be very happy about. So that's what's coming for Flames of War. Is there anything else we want to talk about that before we move on?
Pacific progression.
Yeah, so Pacific was meant to be out this year sometime and has slid back.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure as a reason why. I would imagine it's probably production print things with...
Yeah, they're doing an awful lot. There's a lot of stuff that they're bringing out very quickly.
And probably the Clash of Steel that got probably put in front of it. So. And
I'm guessing the Clash of Steel stuff is being pushed by the money from
World of
Tanks. Yeah.
You think so? Yeah.
I mean, I actually got a couple of the recent releases for World of Tanks. So that's the M103, the heavy US tank. That's out of one of the recent.
Does that come in the Clash? In Clash of Steel, or
it doesn't yet. It will come in Wave 2. So if you have a look at the slide there, Wave 2 is coming October 2024. So there's a bunch of stuff coming out now for that one. And sometime in 2025, they've got the Wave 3, which is the 1960s stuff. And that will start leading into Checkpoint Charlie. So very early Cold War stuff. So for Team Yankee, there's a new starter set and a bunch of new national boxes. So there's a new Soviet one, new US one, and a new Marines one, which is a limited edition. Those are out now, I think. I haven't seen any.
They are. I'm kind of tempted to get that Marine one just because it's got those resin Marine. Is it M60 holes with the?
Yeah, the rubber M60s. Yep.
Yeah,
we'll have a bit of a look at those later on. I managed to nick some off the internet some pictures of them from somebody who's been doing some very good videos. So, Oliver, you're doing good work. Keep it up. Pardon me for nicking a couple of things off your video. There's an IDF book out, so they're not replacing Oil Wars, but what they're doing is bringing an entire book out for the Israelis in January 2025, and that included Merkava 3 and one of the big, I think the APC that's based on the Centurion. They've got some resin bits to add on a Centurion kit.
That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Merkava 3 is already in the original Merkava box, isn't it?
Nope, 1 and 2.
Oh, well,
So people have been waiting for 3s. It'll be a different turret, so maybe they'll get some nice rubber turrets too. So shall we have a look? So this is the limited edition stuff that's just coming out for Arnhem, isn't it?
Yeah.
6th Airborne for the Brits and 82nd Airborne for the US.
Yeah. So I think if you look at the boxes there, you see that you got those 2 limited objectives, which are the same for both boxes. You've got the destroyed German 15 centimeter artillery.
Piece, yep.
And what's that other one? I don't think I've seen that one before. But in general, most of the guys in this box set will be the soft plastic.
Yeah.
Except for the heroes at the front of the airborne with the different bases.
Yep.
The old metal.
Oh, the Metal Heroes set. Yeah, I saw those.
And the same with the 82nd Airborne. Most of the guys will be plastic, except for those heroes at the front there.
And they're metal.
Pardon me. They're going to be metal as well.
So the 82nd Airborne not going to be their hard plastic?
I would. Sorry, they are. They're probably going to be the hard plastic.
Because they were nice. I got a set of those from my very first open fire box set.
Yeah, lovely. My only issue with those hard plastic kits, and it's really, is that the machine guns can sometimes break.
Yeah.
But yeah, apart from that, they're lovely.
So I was intrigued. You can't really see them, but in the British set, there's actually a set of the CLE droppable containers, the paradrop containers. I have no idea what function they have in the game, but
probably you can use them as objectives, I think, for scenarios.
Yeah. I wonder if there are scenarios that they're going to come out with where you can get resupply from them or something. That would be kind of fun.
Yeah. Or it's like a mission where you got to capture the resupply stuff or something. Yeah.
Now, these are pretty big box sets, aren't they? Because there's artillery and all sorts of stuff in them. So, I mean, the British one has 4 17-pounders, a pair of 6-pounders, 4 75mm artillery pieces, and Vickers machine guns. So it's not just a bunch of infantry. There's an awful lot of stuff there. I think they've even got some mortars.
Yeah, no, it looks like the Americans have got mortars, maybe the bigger ones. And Jeeps.
And
I can't quite see what the
57mm anti-tank guns.
Yeah. So, but I mean, when you think about it, I guess if it's just an infantry force, you kind of need a lot of those guns to kind of round it out. Which is good. Yeah. I mean, you're getting it all in a box, and I'd say looks like you get limited. I think you get tokens as well. I think.
Can't remember. I did read the back of the boxes where all of that stuff is spelled out, but they'd have been too small to read to put on the slide.
Yeah.
So Ben, are we intriguing you in getting started with the Flames of War Army, given you're a Team Yankee player?
I still like the the 21st Panzer. I still think that one's the winner out of these boxes.
I'm actually considering getting that myself.
It's a really awesome box, I think.
And again, a lot of that stuff is just going to be limited edition. So if you do want some of those, you'll probably need to
Yeah.
to order up fairly soon.
They come with the objectives and tokens,
Yeah,
as well as
forearm,
the resin objectives. Yeah.
and both sets also have specialist warriors, so that's cool.
Yeah.
And Forewarned says the Nugma shot is the IDF infantry fighting vehicle that's going to come out for.
Didn't they have one that was made out of a T-55 or something?
They most assuredly did.
What was that one called?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay.
Can't remember. So yeah, these are coming for as a specialty thing for Arnhem, for a bridge too far, Market Garden. But they're also doing terrain re-releases. Oh, Jacob says Namur. Could be right. I assume Adam's typing stuff in to find out.
Yeah.
So these are specialist terrain pieces for Arnhem.
Akzarit? Well, that's what Wikipedia
Yeah, that's what I thought, Akzarit, but
yeah.
So I've actually been to that manor house. Got pictures of me standing outside of it. It's a very nice building still.
Oh, really? There you go.
Yeah. I was there about a week after the 75th anniversary celebrations because I can't plan travel very well.
Oh no.
They were busy taking everything down and sweeping up all the flowers and all of that sort of stuff. And I'm going, oh, shit, I missed it.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Victor says the T-55 heavy APC is called Aksarit. Alrighty. So that's those. So Battlefront seemed to have taken this idea of doing specialist box sets for battle anniversaries to heart. So they're bringing out these. They were very keen to say that a lot of this stuff is going to be limited edition. And a lot of that is to make sure that they're not trying to carry and have these in inventory all the time. They will bring them out, and if you want them, you should buy them because you can't guarantee they'll stick around.
Mm-hmm.
So what's next? Oh yeah.
So which one's that? Is that
That's the Somua S35. And that is probably grey because it's a pre-production one. Again, that's the Restless Kaiser and Woolly Mike managed to... Woolly Mike's watching. Hey, Mike. They got to take some photographs of some of these. So, again, I'm a convert to early war, so I'm really looking forward to seeing this stuff. But it's still going to be a while away.
Did BF ever make those huge French tanks? Not
Char
the Char. Yeah, no, but wasn't there one that was even bigger?
Oh yeah, there was. It's got like 13 crew or something ridiculous like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
But anyway, this will be a fun thing to have in plastic. And apparently the Panzer I kit is tiny. So it's going to be absolutely minute.
So is that like a cast metal texture on the plastic, is it? Or is that just because
I think that's
rough?
just pre-production, so I have a feeling that's either like a slash print, because they'd still be working up to the final tooling to do injection molded plastic, so it's entirely possible that's like 3D printed.
Yeah.
Although I do notice there's an incredible sink mark at the front in the suspension, so I hope they manage to sort that out for production. I'd have to fill those on every single one. But I guess that's what pre-production is for.
Yeah, no, it still looks good though.
It does. I'll be happy to. I mean, I'm never going to field French, but I'm going to have to buy some of these, right?
Yeah. Well, with the Zrinyis with all the rivet detail and stuff like that, on the plastic models, they do look pretty good.
So SHA 2C, SHA C2, we've got a few
Yeah, Char
people
2C.
chiming in. Right, SHA
Char
2C.
2C. The big
Oh, there we go,
post-war.
Trekan. Not sure if we should expect Panzer 1, but Panzer Jaeger 1. The Panzer 1 kit builds both the Panzer 1 and the Panzer Jaeger 1.
Mm.
Yeah, that's one of the things that Kaiser and Woolly Mike said that they noticed. That the
So
Panzer
the
1 has
Panzer
plenty of
one,
options.
did it see combat or was it only used for training?
No, the Panzer 1 saw plenty of combat in
Okay.
Poland and France, yep. As far as I'm aware. And Woolly Mike says Panzer 1 is smaller than Hutchin. I don't know what that actually means, but it's small, I'm imagining. All right. This will make you happy, Ben.
Yeah.
So, we were talking about the Checkpoint Charlie and the Wave 3 of Clash of Steel. So, I was interested to see that they've now got a Leopard 1 that you can build as the early version. Because I had thought that you could build the original plastic one and just leave the add-on armor off, but you can't because there's marks in the turret and there's no mantlet for it. So, yeah, you'll actually be able to buy a different kit.
So there was
do
an
the Leopard
earlier
one
version
early.
of the Leopard one, I think, than this
Yeah?
one, was there? Yeah, with the turret was a lot more roundy and
Oh,
sort of
rounded?
Yeah.
carpeted.
I think
Yeah.
that
That's
was
the
the original.
prototype.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there were a bunch of pre-production prototypes, and I think that is the Leopard 1 first production, no side
Okay,
skirts,
yep.
that kind of stuff. So that'll make a lot of people happy. People were bouncing up and down in the comments saying, Belgians! So they'll be able to build their Belgian armies properly.
So, and
So-
they've built that M48 as one of the later ones with the longer gun. So it'll
Yeah,
be
so
the
that's...
one with the NAM style baffle for Checkpoint Charlie, right?
Yeah, so that's a 105mm gun. Looks like it's been built as an Israeli one, given the placement of the machine guns and the different
Oh,
couple
yeah,
on
the
it.
spotting, yeah, 50 cal.
So what that tells me is that you'll be able to build Magach 3,
So that'll be in the Israeli book.
West German M4, M48 A3G or whatever it is.
Because the West
yeah.
German one had the skirts, I think.
Yep,
The West
but I
German
mean that's
M48.
easy enough to have as
Yeah.
a part. So yeah, that I'm assuming that kit will have stuff so you can use it in NAM, so you can use it in Fate of a Nation, so you can use it in
Use them as West German reserve tanks.
West German reserve tanks, or Checkpoint Charlie. Have them versus early T-54s, T-55s over the border.
Yeah, well, with the amount of stuff they squeezed on the Centurion, then I think, 3 guns and the ERA, it's just, yeah, so it'll be good to see all the options on this one.
Yep. So they are doing that with their plastic kits. They're making sure there's plenty of options in them, like the Panzer 1 with the Panzer Jaeger 1 in there. Forewarned is reminding me that Panzer 1 saw extensive combat use in Spain.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Whoops, sorry about that. And Panzer 1 is smaller than Hotchkiss. So yeah, Woolly Mike meant Hotchkiss. That's probably autocorrect doing bad things to you. Where are we? So yeah, slides. So Adam, this is you taking a ride in things, and
Yeah.
how was it to play war games in amongst the museum exhibits?
It was pretty cool. Also a little distracting sometimes. Oh, what's that? But yeah, no, I thought it was really, really cool. And they had it where we're in a main thoroughfare, so people could walk. But we had if you can see it, the bigger image underneath on the right hand side at the top. There's a guy in a green shirt and a white shirt. They're playing like a demo game just for people coming past.
Oh, yep.
And then everyone else is playing tournament games. That's me playing in a black shirt on the left-hand side, playing against Rudolph in his blue shirt.
Why is it in every photograph in this tournament,
Yep.
we can see your ass? That's just it. There's no
No,
face.
not-
There's nothing. It's
not
just all backsides.
And they were taking photos. Well, you can see my face from the on the Panzer. Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. It's just my better side, I guess. I don't know.
No, you were just concentrating on the game, weren't you, Adam?
Right. Yes, I was. So yeah, that game I was playing against his British paratroopers. He had Polish paratroopers, which I didn't realize was a command card for Bulge, but it is. And that made them like 2 plus.
Are they tough?
They're 2 plus. They're 2. So normally they're 3 plus counter assault, and they're 2 plus counter assault. So they did not want to run away from a fight. So that was hard one. My Hungarian assault pioneers actually did their job and gutted out 2 units of paratroopers. And I think I had like 2 or 3 stands left at the end of it. But
yeah, because you know how to assault, unlike me.
Yeah. I thought I knew how to assault, but these guys just kept on coming.
Yeah.
I thought I'd break them, but no, they just kept on coming back. So it was a tough game, actually. It was harder than the results made it look, I guess, at the end. But yeah, it's fun.
So there were a bunch of players from New Zealand, I saw, turned up.
Yeah, there was a fair cohort from New Zealand. So the 3 guys from Battlefront, we had Chris Townley, Wayne,
and Victor.
So Victor is one of their graphic designers and does some other stuff as well. And a good paint. I think he's painting the studio armies now these days.
Right.
Where Wayne is one of the main rules writers. So that was actually really good. I got to speak to them a lot. Nerd out about painting and different ways to do stuff, because both Wayne and Victor are very good painters. And just sort of talking to them about, hey, how would you do this and how to do that? It was really, really fun. We had a team dinner, I think, on the second night, and I just randomly caught up with them a couple of times as well.
So it was the weekend after Winterfest, so I just didn't even think about being able to come. So I ran a big D&D event that wrapped up, like we were still packing the place down and stuff when I would have had to fly out. So
there was 4 guys from New Zealand, as well as the 3 Battlefront guys, and the rest were Australians. I think I thought it was a great event. I was hoping for a little bit of a bigger turnout, and there wasn't enough for a Team Yankee event, unfortunately. I'm not sure why. I actually thought that would have been even more popular than the Flames, but
I would have thought so too. But I mean, that's what I would have gone to play.
But they just didn't get the interest, which was a bit of a shame, because I thought it was a fantastic place to, a lot of people stayed extra and had a bit of a holiday while they were there, and saw some, because it's actually, that's the best time. That time, so June, July, August is kind of like the best sort of time there. It's not too hot, it's not humid.
And the museum's right next door to the great cable car that goes up onto the tablelands, isn't it? So you actually jump on a glass-bottom cable car and go cranking off up into the mountains. It's great.
Yeah, and I know a couple of guys.
Train.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I know a couple of guys actually went out to the reef on the morning on the Friday and then came back, to register. And we just kind of nerded
So
out.
Ben, have you been to the Armour and Artillery Museum?
No, I haven't. I know they've got a lot of the Czech stuff there, which it looks really cool.
Yeah.
Ex-Warsaw Pact stuff.
You, me, and Adam are going to have to pick a time and bugger off to Queensland. And Forewarned says it was too close to the Australian Nationals.
When's the Nationals?
I don't know. Don't ask me.
Yeah, don't know.
Jacob says he'll go. You should come with us on the museum trip, Jacob. We'll pick you up on the way through.
We can do a WA contingent.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, June, July, August. That's 3 months. That's a weak excuse.
All right. So that was all of that. that was your list. I can't read a word of that on the slide, unfortunately, but
it's
walk
Hungarian.
us through it.
So yeah, I did a bit of a sneaky. I tried to do Zrinis, but they're just too expensive. So what I did was I had a normal rifle company, 2 large platoons and then 1 big platoon,
Yeah.
and 2 little mortars just for a template. I had 3 Sabres and 4 Hungarian Hetzers, which are better than the German Hetzers.
Right.
Stats. Had the assault pioneer platoon card. So they dig in on 2+ and they cross minefields on 2+, which was really, really handy because I actually assaulted them right through a minefield twice,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't even take a single casualty. So,
nice.
Yeah.
What you mean, unlike my guys who blow themselves up
Yeah.
with sticky bombs every 5 minutes?
Yeah.
What does this do?
Yeah, and it didn't. The opponents didn't really expect it because minefield,
Yeah.
you have to stop and clear it. It's like,
Yeah.
no, I don't think I will. I'll just assault right through it. And so yeah, that was cool. And then I used the volunteer rifle platoon card to make those 2 smaller platoons cheaper. Makes them 3+ to hit and green
Yeah.
for skill, but all they're supposed to do there is sit on objectives and hold them and be annoying. I'm not really there. They're cheap. So
Yeah.
but to give my tanks, I had the Berlin Clausewitz formation. So I had a 1 Stug, long-barreled Stug, which I was using as a Zrinyi, Zrinyi 1. And then I had 2 units of 3 Stews, which I was using Zrinyis for. And I had 3 half tracks with a 2-centimeter gun, which I was using Nimrods for. And I had 3 Jag Panthers as Jag Panthers. And the Jag Panthers did their job in just annoying everyone and blowing up tanks at long range. So I think I lost 1 the whole tournament. They just sort of sat back on a hill concealed and shot death rays at other tanks. So it was good.
So you were happy with that list, or are there changes you'd make for next time?
No, I was actually happy with it. I thought I didn't have enough AT. Because the Stews aren't really AT. They're only Ratify 1.
Yeah.
But they're a good they can do the artillery bombardment and they can dig out tanks. But most of the time they just sort of did artillery bombardments and shot the odd gun team that was dug in. What did most of the damage most of the time was the actual either the assault pioneer platoon, or the Hetzers. The Hetzers had a good game. They're one of my little favourite mobs. So yeah,
they look amazing too. That camo pattern's really good. Oh, there.
Yeah. They came out really well. Those guys.
So that's some of your army.
Yeah, so that's the Stews / Zuneries up the back. We've got the 4 Hetzers there, 3 Sabres, which are they're pretty cool armoured cars, but they're slow. They've only got 8-inch wheel movement, which is a bit.
I think I killed one of your 17-pounders with a Saspa, didn't I, Harry? Last time we played.
Oh, very possibly. People kill things of mine all the time. It's quite embarrassing.
And that's the long-barreled Zrinyi at the top there. So must be the camera lighting them. It's the same vehicles. They just look lighter in this image here.
Right.
So that was against Rudolph. So it was a great tournament. I had a lot of fun. I think I came away with 2 wins, a draw and a loss. These are Victor's beautifully painted
They are very
Cromwells
nice.
and Challengers. And
Cromwells and Challengers.
If you go on the Flames of War website, and there's an article there about the 2024 Asia Pacific GT report. You can see more of pictures of some of the other armies and more of Victor's, and he's just done a wonderful job. I mean, he really should have got best painted, but he couldn't.
But you won it.
Yes, I did. And that was I didn't think I'd go there to win the tournament, but I thought I might be in for a chance for best painted. So.
Because I have no chance for best painted when we go to tournaments, because there's you and there's Christian.
he who shall not be named, because
our scale trader buddy, who once he
No.
found great success, abandoned our stream.
he's good. Got him. But yeah, here's this wonderfully restored grant that they've done, and if you notice on top of the tank there, they've actually got these mesh cages.
The grenade
they're
screens.
they're unique to Australian vehicles. We did that for our experience against the Japanese.
Well, yeah, because people kept throwing grenades in open hatches and stuff.
Yeah, what's with that? And I think that
It's annoying.
that extra armor on the front of the
the add-on applique armor
is also Australian sort of only.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm not sure.
That must have made that transmission really thick.
Yeah, you're not going to penetrate it. So, because it's not that the Japanese didn't have any tank guns that could penetrate the Allied armor. It's just they didn't have a lot of them.
No.
And yeah, these so that's why they up armored these ones, so they probably really couldn't. And that thing's inside's perfect. It works like it's brand new. Everything
Is that one of the ones they got off that farm in Victoria somewhere?
No, I think they got
okay.
this elsewhere.
Right.
I could be wrong, but I'm
Because
pretty
anybody who doesn't know that particular story, the museum went to get some parts and actually found a farmer who had like a half a dozen disassembled Grant tanks like lying around that his dad had bought that were sitting there rusting away, that had trees growing through them.
Yeah.
So there's a fantastic video about them having to chop enough of the trees down to be able to pull the damn things out and take them all away and start restoring them.
Yeah.
Scott's saying this M3 was found before the barn find.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. That is a great video, though. If you want to see some fun and some... for our international guys, larrikinism is a thing that we do in Australia, which is basically like bodging stuff up and, doing stuff that's a little bit dodgy. There's some larrikinism on show. They are great videos.
Wasn't there like a dingo armored car just sort of hanging there in the roof too or something?
Oh, yeah, that was just like in the background.
Yeah, just,
he was going to get to fixing that one day.
Some rare armored car that there wasn't many made. And,
I know, probably a
not the normal dingo, one. The Australian dingo, but yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, they've got this Jag Panzer, this Hetzer runs. This has got to be one of my favourite tanks. I don't know why. I just really like it. So
yeah, that one I have seen.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I don't know why I really like those little what do they call those lights on the tanks?
The no-tech lights on the front.
Yeah.
The driving lights.
Helmets. Are they supposed to look like helmets, or is it just a coincidence that they're like little German?
I don't know. I think it's coincidence. Form follows function, but yeah, they're meant to be so that you can't see the light from above, but they give you enough to drive by in blackout conditions. What do we got? The Aussie mods are the grenade mesh, the gearbox armor, and the track grouses on the front.
Oh, righto. So
thank you, Scott.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah. And so you put all of these ones in because these are all things that were in your army, right?
Yeah, sure. I just like it. But I just couldn't get over how huge the Panther is. And if you can't see it there, but the Panther is bigger and taller than the Tiger.
Yeah.
The medium tank is bigger and taller than the heavy assault tank.
They are huge.
They're just huge. And the Jag Panther is even bigger.
The Bunders did like a lineup of the tanks, like a Leopard 1, a Leopard 2, and a Panther. And I think the Panther was taller than the Leopard 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Trekan's wondering if the Hetzer is a rebuilt G13. So that was the Swiss. Yeah, they were built for the Swiss at the end of the war or post-war.
I think it might be.
I think most of them are rebuilt G13s that have been like backwards converted, but I don't know.
Someone else was telling me that Switzerland has an awesome tank museum, which I didn't know about. And they're actually working on a King Tiger, restoring it.
Wow, that'd be awesome.
Yes.
We'll have to find out. So what else have we got? So that is... I was looking at that picture because that's got the very heavy late production bolted mantlet collar on there, because the
Yeah.
initial production had a much thinner piece.
You notice they
then
got
they-
a different Scherzen too?
The
Weird
shirts in,
hook
yeah.
on. Yeah. I hadn't seen that before.
Although I keep using those on my Panther kits because I can't be stuffed getting the actual Panther ones from the plastic kit with ejector marks in them and filling in all the damn ejector marks.
Yeah, I don't know why they've. Yeah, that's.
It was
anyway.
an early plastic kit. They were new to plastic. It happens. So where are we going next? Hey, let's do this. So yeah, we talked about the fact that for Team Yankee, and then Ben, we can get you in on this because you're more of a Team Yankee guy. There is a brand new starter set, so that's going to have the new plastic, hard plastic, US and Soviet infantry sprues in it. I think other than that, it's very similar to the existing one with T-80s, BMP-3s,
Yeah,
Abrams
the
and
Soviet one
Bradleys.
isn't really anything new, I don't think, except for the infantry.
Yeah, so they've rejigged these with the new plastic infantry, which is nice.
But if you look at the American one, sorry,
Yeah.
but that's got an observer, that's got some VADs. It kind of does something a little different to what the previous American boxes did. But the Soviet box, it's very samey to the previous Warsaw Pact and Soviet boxes.
Yeah, fair enough. And those will be available, I think, fairly longish term. But the limited edition one is the Marine Rifle Company.
Mm-hmm. And so is that a standard Marine Rifle Company platoon size?
Yeah, they are. They've got more stands than...
What's that, like 10 stands plus
Yeah.
5 other small ones?
Yeah, there was some talk that apparently you need to buy the AAV resin to actually field all those infantry.
Yeah. I actually have one of those in my
the
pile of shame
amphibious,
to
the
review.
amphibious vehicle.
Yeah, the Jawa Sandcrawler, yeah.
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 The
I like
AAVP7, I remember it as.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, the thing people will notice is that the M60s in there have laser reactive armor on them.
Yeah, they look amazing, eh?
Yeah. Oh. Trekan says, for the records, Germany used categories as light,
Yes.
medium, and heavy
Yeah,
according to
text
the role,
roll.
not the
I
weight.
know,
Yeah,
but
no,
yeah.
fair enough. And a number of people have said they've got their starter sets, so we haven't seen them here yet. I have placed my order for the Soviet and US infantry.
I'm gonna have to get the Marine one.
Yeah,
Those tanks look cool.
I can't spring for a $200 box set because I want to build a couple of the tanks out of it, because I'll never field the Marines.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's tempting. I wouldn't say I didn't look up the price and then have a think about it and go, no, I'll just buy the plastic sprues to review. But this is the M60 with Blazer. So you get the standard plastic kit, and you get Cyocast resin upgrade bits. So you can see there's a bag of Cyocast resin bits, including add-ons for the hull and a new turret piece that you glue onto all the other plastic bits. So what do you guys think about those?
I really like that turret bustle with stowage too.
Mm.
Yeah, I like it. Look, as long as it's molded well and it's not.
Yeah, the detail is nice and sharp, and there's no like jankiness. I reckon it looks good.
Yeah, I think that's my issue with the soft resin stuff, is that when the molds start to go a bit and they slip a bit, and then you've got to try and trim them. They're really frustrating.
Yeah,
to trim properly.
It's not as easy a material to work with as plastic or harder resin.
Yes, or metal, or delicious metal. But yeah, So I guess and maybe that's why they've kind of made them limited. I don't know. Will these be limited though?
Yeah, I think the box set is limited, but I have a feeling that you'll be able to buy either these as an upgrade set or
3
these in a
different
box.
ones. Oh, that's
I
cool.
heard they were
Yeah,
limited
so-
because of the Iraqi, the Gulf War objectives and counters, not because of the
Not because
Siocast
of the
parts. That's what I
Siocast
heard.
bits. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're probably right. I mean, and that's cool that they've actually got, like Willie Mike said, there are 3 different ones with different stowage. So it's kind of going back to the old.
Yeah, the Nam Sheridans had all different stowage, right?
They did.
Yeah. So like, what I liked about the older Flames of War boxes, like you could buy, a blister of a tank and it'd just be all the same tank. But if you've actually bought the box set, it'd be each one was an individual tank. So it's cool that they're kind of doing that again with these, I think. Yeah, because I like that individualness.
And they look all right painted up.
They look really nice.
Yeah. So you can't really tell that that's a mix of
Nah.
No,
Siocast parts and hard plastic.
no, it looks good.
I mean, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
So Paul says, seen this, I ask if in the future they'll do Magat 7 update. So that would be interesting to add some parts to be able, because that's got a very different turret profile, doesn't it? It's got a whole bunch of add-on armor.
Yeah, I mean, I think that looks like what they're going down the path of. So they've built a reasonably diverse plastic kit, and then if there's anything else that's specific that they think lots of people will want, like this, for example, then they'll do these soft plasticky resiny stuffs.
Yep. And Scott says the big boxes are usually limited runs, then they'll release them as a platoon box.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was sort of what I was expecting. So if they come as a platoon box, I may well have to buy some. So Terence from the Battle Bunker, who I ordered my plastic infantry from, promised to send me some good pictures of the Blazer armored turrets so that I can at least do a review of that and show people what they look like.
Mm-hmm.
So that was very nice of him. Thank you, Terence.
Yeah, no, he's a good bloke.
He is. All right, so we've made reasonably good time getting through that, gang. So, again, it's a confused mess of stuff that we're talking about from Battlefront. Like, we haven't even talked about...
Yeah, the dynamic points.
The dynamic points. Do we want to talk a little bit about the dynamic points before we start wrapping up, or is there anything anybody still wants to say about stuff that's coming up about Clash of Steel or Team Yankee?
I did have a quick look at those the new dynamic points. So the changes to the Warrior and the Bradley transports, and the they scaled back some of the nerfs to the AA. So I don't think they're extreme anymore.
Yeah, so they dialed them back a point or two for a lot of the AA. The tanks stayed pretty much
large units. Yeah, they scaled back the nerfs a bit, so they're a bit like still a little bit more expensive, but I think a lot more reasonable now. Especially like Gecko, Tunguska. Yeah, they're not like crazy expensive now.
And so I looked at the British, so it was going to be Rapier. We're going to go from like 6 to 14 points, and they've actually gone from 6 to 12.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would have paid the 14 points to them, to be honest.
Yeah, wow. Well, the Rollins are going to... You can get 6 Roland 2s for 12 points. So I wonder what the difference there is.
Yeah, you kind of have to get the new one up and the old one up and like go through them and look at them side by side.
Yeah, we didn't actually want to go through and do the full spreadsheet thing that we did for the last stream, because that was a lot of work and that was good. But I think So the AA got wound back a little bit, but there's still there's a significant increase there. Most of it's doubled-ish. The
Yeah,
heavier tanks have come down.
I think that's probably the big thing, apart from the whole Warrior Bradley transport thing, which
Yeah, so what's everybody's thought about that? So in case anybody's not across that, what happened was the Bradley mech platoon and the Warrior mechanized platoon weren't in the original proposal. That must have been feedback from people, and they've actually turned up and become less expensive. So I think people weren't taking Bradleys and Warriors. They were sticking with FV432s and M113s. So this is to encourage more of that. Do you guys think that's going to work?
Yes. And I think it's probably. I think what's probably happened is, as they've done the points for Team Yankee, they've kind of got themselves between a rock and a hard place between cheap Warpack T55,
Yeah.
62s, and then you cut to and keeping the same points. How much this value costs, then going to your top Abrams or your West Germans. It's just such a big difference that people just weren't bringing the new kits and the new tanks. So
I think that tells you've got a problem if everybody wants to bring T55s. There's something wrong with the points there, because you know there were not a lot of Soviet troops who were going, well, actually
T90s or T80s.
Yeah, T80s. Yeah, that's very nice, but can I hang on to my T55, please? It's
So I think that there's two things they could have done. Either they could have done a mid-war, late-war version of points for Team Yankee, or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Or they've done what they have done, which is to make those things that probably were very expensive a bit cheaper, so people are going to bring them. Because I think, from what I think, what Battlefront doesn't like to do is to make people's books and cards and things that they've already spent money on and go, no, we're repointing everything now, so now you're going to have to buy all this shit again. So people would complain about that, and perhaps rightly so.
What you mean, all the bitching for 40k that they do that every other week?
Yeah. And even when you see it, anyway, I don't want to get into that. But yes, basically, So I think what they've done here is gone, right, well, let's just make this stuff a bit cheaper. It's dynamic points. At least some things are changing and not everything. We're not going to repoint everything because that's such a massive job. But we'll kind of fiddle this a little bit and see how that goes. And I think that's probably good, and I think it will mean that people will use those more expensive vehicles, and your Bradleys and your Warriors, and I think everyone was still using Marder 2s because they're awesome. But I think it's a good thing.
Because I bought Warriors in that game we played, didn't I, Ben?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And they were nice, but there just weren't quite enough of them. So what have we got? Trekan was saying maybe Team Yankee needs an early war, mid-war, and late war. So I think there is the two approach. You could take that, or you could... I think Team Yankee, if I remember correctly, was a bit of a runaway surprise success that they weren't expecting when they brought the game out. And it was meant to be, here's some M1s, here's some T72s, hooray, here you go. But now the range keeps expanding and expanding and expanding, then some of the pointing of that needed some adjustment. So
I would think that if they ever do a V2 of Team Yankee, perhaps they might go down that way. Yeah, but like a
V3, you mean, perhaps?
V3, sorry, yeah. That they'll. Well, but was the V2? Well, the rules didn't change. It was the same rules.
There was some very minor rule changes, I seem to recall.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a whole
Yeah,
points.
it's minor stuff. Yeah.
It wasn't like a points.
It wasn't like an iteration, no.
Yeah. So I think
Yeah.
if they were to do a full iteration, maybe once they get everything out that they plan to get out. So I know
Yeah.
they were talking about maybe bush wars and
Yeah.
and I think that they will do. I believe down the track, I've got a feeling they'll do some sort of Pacific, like Team Yankee, like
Yeah,
so,
I think that's where they're going next.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I don't know. I used to play a game. Yeah, you remember the Panzer General, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I used to love those games. I still do. And they had one called People's General, which was like basically China was helping North Korea take whatever, and that was cool. So, I think a lot of people said, look, if they made a Chinese Team Yankee force, and I think they are. Like I actually saw the other day, there was a China national tournament in China for Flames. I think it was for Flames. So I know they have been trying to make inroads into China. So
yeah, so that's the Singapore crew who.
Yes.
Ben
does
from
that?
Ben Lin,
from Blitz and Pieces, yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, I reviewed. They did a complete specialist, the Liberation box set
Yeah.
for Team Yankee as a 2-player starter set for that.
Oh
you
yeah,
had a
probably
starter
that bump
set
in,
in
yeah.
Flames of War with the carrier, with the limited edition Carriers Tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think once they get everything out, maybe they'll repoint it, and they might do, as Trekken says, like a mid-war, late war one. But I don't think they'll do that.
Well, there were two approaches, and they've chosen this one rather than. I mean, it would be a fairly major structural change to do early, mid, late for that.
Yeah.
Forewarned is busy saying T80 shock becomes a more playable option.
Yeah.
I thought that too. So I have a Soviet Army, which is basically BMP mech based.
Mm.
And yeah, I was looking at the better stats of the T80 shock group and going, you know what, that you could do that now. That would be a nice option.
Yeah.
It's tricky because the T80 already wasn't really hurting for armor, but it's hurting for its rate of fire. So if you make them more expensive, you're getting less shots. So it's a bit tricky.
Yeah, but you do get better skill and stuff, don't you?
Yeah.
I'd love to see a Japanese Team Yankee list. I'd do that easy.
There is
Team Yankee Taiwan.
a fan-produced Japanese.
I have seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. That looked like a lot of fun, to be honest.
Oh, my issue is I've got that much stuff. Like, I'd love to do it, and I probably will.
I'm not going to live enough to build or review all the shit in my pile of shame, man. Like, I'm at the time of life where it's like, if I buy this, have I got that much left? Am I going to actually make it there?
Yes, it will. Base counted counts, mate. Base counted counts.
Yeah, fair enough.
But they could do a lot of crazy North Korean stuff. Like, there's so many like just weird, wacky, and wonderful things coming from up there.
Mm.
Yeah, Scott wants some Korea as well.
Yeah. Miniature Landscape Hobbies saying that T80 Shock Group. Hello from Canada. Yeah, you can see Swedish force. But Team Yankee Taiwan, I don't know if they'll do that.
It would be fun to take like NAM Australians against something. That would be kind of fun, but Team Yankee Taiwan.
Yeah. I think it's a good
China
idea.
Red v Blue.
I don't know.
Oh wow. Okay. Sorry, I'm just busy catching up on the comments here. Charles Stubbs played Flames at a club in Shanghai, so there are Chinese players.
Nice.
So yeah, ni hao to any of our Chinese viewers out there, Chinese players. Miniature Landscape Hobbies. That's Joe. Played against T80 Shock Group with my Swedish. T80 Shock is good now. Yeah, fair enough.
Well, competitively, T80s were still good for like pushing lots of infantry off objectives, right?
Yeah. So what do you think about that, Adam?
Battle of Kapyong.
No. I was going to cover that in a sec. But Ben, what did you say? You said something about pushing things off objectives?
Yeah, with
You
the
said the
T80s. I think the
Yeah.
Singapore boys were saying that if you move them right and just bum rush the objective with the T80s, you can push them off
Yeah.
and like get a turn 2 win or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, that would surprise me with those.
That sounds very Ben, though. Ben's very
Yeah.
much for I push all my stuff forward very, very aggressively.
Yeah.
Battle of Cap Yong, if memory serves me correctly, is
That's
Australians
brilliant,
stopping a Chinese advance.
I was watching the video, and the amount that the NATO guys were outnumbered in Korea is just.
It is just stupid.
Amazing.
Like, there were just so
It's
many
just-
guys. The Chinese people must have just been getting in their own way.
Probably half the time. Yeah.
But yeah, the Battle of Cap Yong, there's a couple of good videos on that if anybody wants to check that out. But basically, the Australians managed to slow, not stop, but significantly slow a Chinese advance down a particular avenue
Yeah.
and valley that enabled the rest of
And-
the United Nations forces to get their excrement co-located.
Yeah, and it was like battalions worth. Like it was like the amount
Yeah.
that they were outnumbered was ludicrous.
Yeah, very much the the holding the pass kind of battle for Australia. So yeah, you think or Christian thinks the 14th Army is the forgotten army, but Korea's the forgotten war.
The Forgotten Theatre, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, so there's been some spirited discussion there. It's been very good in the comments.
I think Southeast Asia and Asia is the next big focus. Would be the next big focus. I think there's a lot of people that are interested in. So
Yeah, well, they've been asked before, and they said, "No, we're not doing Asia. We're not doing Asia." So
I don't know if they said no, they weren't. I think they said there were no plans.
Yes. But then, I mean, I remember reviewing the Red Dawn stuff going, where did that come from? That wasn't on any lists I ever saw before it just arrived.
Yeah.
So Robert Lamb... Sorry?
Yeah, sorry, I was reading the same thing you were reading.
Yeah, Robert Lambourne says, is there anything being done for NAM? I don't think that's their focus for the moment. NAM and Fate of a Nation are fun, and lots of people like them. I have armies for both of those partly built. I have never played either game. And I've been doing this stuff since 2014, 2015. So I've never, ever played a game of NAM and Fate of a Nation. So
the feeling I get with Fate of a Nation and NAM is that they're going to reprint the books.
yeah,
Like with Osprey, which is what they've kind of already done. And that's probably about it for the time being.
and I think every now and again they're going to have one of those, look, we've reprinted everything, here's all the models and stuff, get them while you want them. And then they're not going to carry this stock long term. It's going to roll up when they've got some spare capacity, I think. And I don't know there's going to be an awful lot of expansion to the range or new stuff for it.
Yeah.
Having said that, at 2 o'clock this morning, I may have ordered a 144th scale Kiowa helicopter, because the Australian artillery observers in NAM are the little Cayuse helicopters, and that's not what we used. We used Bell 47s, but I can't find a model kit of one of those. That's the MASH style helicopter that they used for casualty evacuation.
Those things look like they should just fall out of the air.
They do.
Yeah.
We started using Kiowas in 1971 for that role. So I'll just be a little bit, a little bit anachronistic.
yeah, but it's one of those things, I guess, if they do like a plastic PT-76 or something at some stage,
I'd be very happy.
Checkpoint Charlie or something, they can just next time they do NAM, they can rebox and do like a NAM version of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
The gear is being used in other theaters, so they can always pull it across every so often.
Kiowas are used in Team Yankee timeline as well, so yes, that'd be fun. Sorry, there was something on the tip of my brain that I was going to mention, and I've completely forgotten about it. Oh, that's right. Plastic MTLB. So you said plastic PT76s. I really, really, really want the MTLBs as a plastic kit. Although apparently they're running out of them at the moment because they're being used. That they're just so useful that you can bolt things to them and do things with them. And
their tracks are so wide they can like swim across mud. It's like they're really
Really
I've also seen them strapping naval guns to the top of them, but they're not being real good.
And rocket pods from Hind helicopters. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
basically.
Wasn't it the last
Jaeger MTLB with the 100mm anti-tank gun on there?
Yep, there's all sorts of fun things that they've done with those, all of which are skirting around getting us demonetized. But I mean, we got Hungarianly demonetized already, so that's okay. So I would love an MTLB. I might have to 3D print some because they're just so useful. Joe says, will Checkpoint Charlie not bring Nam and Fate of a Nation time frame into a book? Maybe it'll be all one system at one point.
I did
hear
that at one point.
Yeah, they did say they'd be compatible, so you will be able to take your crazy Cold War Soviets or your crazy Cold War US against something in Fate of a Nation or Nam or whatever, which would be kind of fun.
And they can do Argentinians too. We can redo the Falklands.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting.
Because they use
conscripts.
The LVTP7s, so you can nick those off the Marines and paint them up for
Skyhawks.
And Skyhawks and
the Harriers. Yeah.
Forewarned wants the Bush Ranger. They haven't got the right Harriers though; they've got the wrong Harriers.
Yeah. Yeah.
What we got? Have you seen the ADF is getting the AS9 Huntsman? Yes, I did. We're definitely not going to be seeing that in plastic anytime soon.
No. Yeah.
Oh dear. All right. I think we're pretty much done. Is there anything anybody wanted to cover that we haven't covered?
No, I'm pretty good. I just want to remind anyone in Perth that it looks like the first weekend of November we'll have the tournament in Perth. Team Yankee. Yep. We haven't decided on points yet, but I don't think it'll be a full 100 points. It'll probably be 65-ish. Yeah,
short, fast, deadly games, I think, is what we want to do to get people back into it.
And welcome for new players too. And I think last time we did have a couple new players playing.
There were a whole bunch of guys who said about 2 years ago that they really wanted to get into it, and we haven't managed to organise a tournament for them until now. So I don't know if they've gotten tired and gone away or whatever, but we'll try and stir something up, see what we can get. And any of the West Australian crew who are watching, I see Jacob's busy saying hooray. Start thinking about your armies. I've built some M1A1s and some LAVs, some ASLAVs for my new Australians. So start thinking about what you guys want to build. And I particularly want to say thank you to everybody who's been in the comments. We have had several spirited discussions. Like, I have looked very distracted because I'm busy scanning this, trying to figure out what comments to put up and trying to read Trekan correcting my German pronunciation and all of that sort of stuff. So thank you very much for you guys who've come along and joined with us. It really helps. We love having a conversation with you guys and having you. I did actually challenge people to come and derail us online tonight, so I don't know if we got derailed as such, but
there's been some pretty good comments on the side there. I was enjoying it, so
yeah, absolutely. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me again, and until next time, I think we'll call it here. So good night, and we'll see you in a month or so.
Have a good one, guys.
See ya.